Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you guys. A little bit late, technical difficulties. And guys, do I have a couple stories for you today? So guys, every now and then I'll be working on a video, and like a whole theme. Like guys, who are all the teachers in TCAP, right? There was Walter Babst, there was James Rutherford, right? Let me see. You guys can name any more. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, guys, let me know. But man, oh man, matter of fact, they just dropped another
Photos
one
were the thing that then.
just now, guys. Here. We have a few of these, so let's go to this
A
one
woman
first.
in Indiana is
Guys, this chick got arrested for pimping out a 12-year-old. Clown World. Absolutely insane. Look at this, guys.
facing felony charges, accused of giving a 12-year-old she was babysitting drugs, molesting her, and then forcing her to engage in sex acts with grown men.
That's terrible.
We're taking a closer look at the court documents in this case with criminal defense attorney Brad Banks. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A 21-year-old from Bloomington, Indiana, is locked up on some heinous charges. This is after police say she took advantage of a child in her apartment complex under the guise of babysitting. Naomi Florin is charged with 3 counts of child molesting, 2 counts of vicarious sexual gratification with a victim under the age of 14, sexual battery with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of neglect of a dependent, promotion of child sex trafficking, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, court documents in this case give us some insight into what happened or allegedly happened at the College Square Apartments over about a week's time earlier in July. And we want to warn you, it is really disturbing, but it goes a long way to explaining the charges that Florin faces. And for that, I want to bring in Indianapolis criminal defense attorney Brad Banks to talk to me about this. Brad, thank you so much for coming on. First, can we just talk about the charges? That long list of really serious and egregious charges. What do you make of that?
Battery with a deadly weapon or something. Guys, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in these type of situations where you have these sort of, like you said, crazy over-the-top allegations, they're going to throw everything they can at the defendant, and I think that's what you see here. Whatever charges they could go after her with, they've thrown it in the mix.
Yeah, and if convicted, I imagine we're talking just decades in prison.
I hope so. Yeah, guys. Now wait a minute. This is a woman. So do you guys think that she'll get decades and decades in prison? Because guys, oftentimes, if you look at these female offenders, these teachers and all this other stuff, they don't get nearly as much time as the men, which is absolutely foolish. You know what I'm saying? I
would say there's a good chance of that if she gets hit with the most serious charges. There's I'd say in the 20-year range would be something you'd probably see in this type of a case. I mean, this is an unusual set of circumstances. So.
Unusual is an interesting word. I'm going to say disgusting, as I'm about to get into.
Yeah,
so
I mean, 20-some years of doing this. Yeah, I've never seen something like it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it, and then let's break it down and get your reaction to each part, because it's
sure.
So, the detective in this case submitted this probable cause statement to the court in order to get an arrest warrant. And it says, according to the document, victim 1 was staying with her 4 siblings as well as her mother and stepfather at her grandmother's apartment. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is a 12-year-old. The document states between July 3rd and July 9th, victim 1 and her siblings began spending time with Naomi Bella Florin.
Cat Wags is in the house. What's going on, my friend?
They referred to as a babysitter. Now, detectives did a forensic interview with victim 1 and at least 2 of her siblings, and victim 1 told police that one of her siblings had told Florin that victim 1 was 14. Apparently, this was kind of a running gag, but victim 1 was apparently used to it, so she didn't correct the age. But remember what her real age is here, 12. Now, referring back to the document, it states, quote, Bella invited a male friend, whose name is unknown, to hang out with them. This male is believed to be 17 years old, and Bella told him that victim 1 was 15 years old. While they were hanging out, the male asked victim 1 if she was feeling him, and victim 1 was not sure what he meant, but replied yes. Now, the male reportedly began touching victim 1, and she told him to stop, which he did. But later, when Florin, the male, and victim 1 were in Florin's bedroom, Florin was taking photos of the victim sitting in the male's lap while he was grinding against her. And victim 1 told him again to stop and told detectives that she later deleted the photos off of Florin's phone. Victim 1 claims that Florin then had sex with the 17-year-old male in front of her. Brad.
So wait a minute. That's probably a crime right there. Man, this chick is probably one of the worst female offenders I've ever seen.
Let's start there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just better not have a babysitter.
Seriously.
The initial contact with the individual, setting it up, making it seem like it's 17 and 15-year-old, if that was true, is not a crime, because that's within the age range that would be legal. Under the age of 14, it is automatically child molest. So
good.
Is mistake of age a crime, a defense?
No.
So yeah, for the 17-year-old in this situation, it would be. The 17-year-old is probably fine. It would be the babysitter that's going to be, and this is where you get the promoting and all those kind of charges coming into play.
But isn't that a kind of grooming, right? In the sense, putting the age aside, when you have sexual relations with somebody in front of a victim, you're trying to. I've seen this before, right? It's
for sure. Yeah. No, she's setting her up to, I guess, desensitize her to these activities.
Disgusting.
Probably, if I had to guess, with the idea of what you'll talk about later, some of the other things she's going to have this kid engage in.
Hey, I want to take a quick sidebar from Sidebar to tell you guys about Wondery's awesome podcast, American Scandal. You can /no to them smoking it. So smoke it, which believes came now at wondery.fm/LC sidebar. So the document goes on to state, quote, during this occasion of hanging out with this male, Bella gave victim 1 an unknown pill, which victim 1 believes came from a prescription of Bella's. The male also rolled a blunt and passed it to victim 1, at which point victim 1 looked at Bella for guidance, and Bella was giving her a look to smoke it, which victim 1 did.
This girl's 12
The male
years
also
old,
tried to
guys.
pass the blunt to victim 1's younger
Insane.
siblings, but victim 1 said no to them smoking it. So Brad, now we have drugs being introduced into this situation, and even if the 17-year-old believes the victim is older than she really is, all of those siblings are 11 years younger.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and that's where those contributing delinquency minor, those type of charges come into play. You start providing illegal substances to a minor, you're going to get charged with that across the board. So she's facing some pretty significant charges there. They could even file a neglect of a dependent type charges in these situations too, because these children were left in their care. Right. So if you're supposed to be providing care to kids and you're doing these kind of things, there's no doubt that could result in felony neglect charges too. I think with some of the other charges they didn't lop some of those in, but with these other minor children, now you've got her being introduced to some sort of, who knows what kind of pill, that's putting her in a compromised position, more so than you already is. I mean, imagine being in her shoes, the babysitter's like showing you sex and trying to introduce you to sex, and now introducing drugs into your system.
Damn.
I mean, the overwhelming just sense of dread that 12-year-old must have been going through to try to processing that. What is going on here? This is my babysitter.
Sad.
Yeah. Somebody who's supposed to care for her and responsibility. So the next day,
Nick, what's going on, man? Monique, how's it going, my friend? Good to see you guys. Today we're talking about this babysitter that got caught pimping out a 12-year-old to her neighbors after abusing herself, and another teacher, a female teacher, that was giving kids lap dances. And then we might also watch Walter Bapp's segment, because remember he was a teacher on TCAP also.
Victim 1 says Florin, also known as Bella, gave her another pill and a weed vape pen to smoke, and then took her upstairs to the apartment of a man referred to as Rat Guy. that doesn't send chills down your
Rat
spine.
guy or rat
So police
guy?
now say that rat guy is 54-year-old Matthew Brown.
What?
The probable cause statement reads, victim 1 indicated that Bella told her that she does things for Matthew in exchange for money to help pay for rent. When victim 1 and Bella got to Matthew's apartment, Bella took her shirt off, exposing her breasts. And victim 1 asked Bella if she should take her shirt off, and Bella told her to.
Absolutely.
Now, we're not going to get into
insane.
the details of what happens next because it's just way too graphic and upsetting, but victim 1 accuses both Florin and Matthew Brown of sexual assault.
Good.
Victim 1 told police that Florin again took photos of her during the sex acts, and Matthew gave victim 1 and Florin each a $20 bill on the way out, but Florin allegedly took victim 1's $20 and kept it for herself. Brad, how disgusting is that?
Yeah, now you're getting into those promotion, child trafficking type charges when you're taking your victim and sharing them, if you will, with the rat guy or whatever his name is. And again, the 12-year-old is getting exposed to all this stuff and then taken to somebody she's already knows as the rat guy. So obviously there's a negative connotation with this guy before she even goes up there. And now she's being introduced to more sexual contact with him. Just a nightmare from her situation. I do think it'll be interesting to see. The gentleman's 54 years old. The report says at some point he thinks, oh wait, she might not be the age that I'm being told she is, and asks them to leave. 17-year-old being told an age and doing something with somebody versus a 54-year-old. Not realizing somebody is 12 years old, I think is going to be a tougher sell for him. And I would be surprised if he isn't facing some charges for his involvement in this as well.
Good.
It's interesting.
I hope that they throw the book at everyone involved. And guys, let me drop the link for anyone who wants to come on up. Hey Monique, the $10. I appreciate that. Well, let me see. What's the sound that I have for donations? Let's see. Oh yeah. I appreciate that, my friend. Thanks for the support.
Interesting you say that we couldn't confirm that, whether he or anybody else has been facing charges other than Florin. And clearly, I mean, also that's why she's facing the molestation charges as well when you hear stuff like this. Yeah, we just don't know if at this point he is facing charges. But let me go back to this. So victim 1 claims that this was not the end of her torture. No, she says the next night, Florin took her to another apartment.
Look at that.
And although she wasn't sure which one it was, there were 2 men there. And she says Florin gave her another unknown pill and that all 4 of them smoked marijuana and drank alcohol. Remember, she's 12 years old. Again, I just want to reemphasize that. Now, victim 1 says that she was incredibly impaired, but remembers one of the men raping her.
Man.
12-year-old child. According to victim 1, Florin told the men the girl was 18. So now I guess, we're talking, Brad, they don't know that she's not younger than 18. Again, is the mistake of age a defense really here? And the emphasis is put on Florin here because she knows the truth. But what was your take on this?
Yeah, this is a real interesting part of the case because at least from what I read in the police reports and the probable cause, they don't even know who these 2 individuals are yet, or they're not identified in the paperwork. So if they're able to identify them, Indiana has a new law that just went into effect where if basically you can be convicted of rape if the person is unable to consent. So even if you believed a 12-year-old was of age, which is hard to imagine, but even if you believed that, this intoxication she's being put under now would put it in a category potentially still of a rape charge because she's impaired. And she really expresses in that police report that this time around, whatever drug she was given, she's really out of it. I mean, she's really
70. What's going on, my friend? August 9, man. How you been, man?
feeling intoxicated. And, at 12 years old, it's just not things you would know. I mean, you would know this is something unusual, right? Because you're getting exposed to this. And again, the babysitter is exposing her to other other atrocious behavior, and it's just crazy. Now and you'll probably get into this, but there's some evidence they find that makes it seem like
you're leading me right into it. Let me talk about this. So police, they end up searching Florin's apartment, and they interview her and they interview Matthew Brown. And according to the affidavit, Brown said that Florin told him this 12-year-old was really 21 years old, but he told police he started to think that wasn't true. Okay. And in addition to multiple bottles of prescription pills found in Florin's apartment, police also seized her cell phone. And the detective states in the court documents, quote, "I asked Bella if she had any pictures on her phone that would be concerning, and she advised that she did not, other than pictures of drugs. I asked for Bella's consent for her passcode, which she provided. I ultimately was able to access her phone, and in the recently deleted folder of the photos album, I located numerous photos of Bella and victim 1 exposing their breasts."
Look at that, guys. Man, oh man, oh man.
And the document concludes most
She's
of
supposed
Florin's
to be babysitting this 12-year-old.
description of what happened when victim 1 was with her was all consistent with victim 1's description of the people and places they visited. However, while they were all consistent, other than what Florin admitted to happening at Matthew's residence, she denied the other sexual allegations. So, the account, Brad, is one thing, but the evidence is another thing as well.
Yeah, and this is where the cases that involve sex crimes are always tough, right? Because a lot of times the state or the prosecutor just has the victim's statement, right, and that's it. There's no DNA. There's the rape kit comes back without any.
Is this guy That's not the Jets. No, that's Michigan. No, that's Michigan State. Okay, I was gonna say, wait, this guy's not a Jets fan, is he? They still exist? Yeah, August Lyon. This was by the Babysitter, dude. The Babysitter. She was babysitting a 12-year-old and then pimping her out for money. Clown World.
Evidence that's very helpful. There's no other supporting information. But when you have evidence like this, where the victim's story is being corroborated by these photographs, and then you've got the babysitter lying about the photographs' existence, and she tried to trash them and just didn't realize your pictures don't do anything other than go in a deleted folder. Now you've got this consciousness of guilt with her. You've got this evidence that corroborates the victim's story. And so now that's why I think the police are going to take very seriously these other allegations involving these two other gentlemen that they haven't, doesn't look like they've necessarily fully pieced together yet. But I think they're going to believe everything this little girl's had to say.
It's hard to imagine that people do this. I know these are allegations. She's innocent until proven guilty.
Like, okay, I understand things are different now, right? And men and women are in the workforce, but the economy is the way it is, and it requires both. Most households, they require two incomes, right? But guys, back in the 70s and in the 80s, there were still like one or two, where okay. There's a couple issues now with like this babysitting / childcare thing, right? Because guys, when I was young and I was, my parents had my great aunt watch us, right? So she was the woman on the street who would watch all the neighborhood kids, right? So everyone paid her like, this is the 80s, $20 a kid, and then she had her garage converted to a daycare. It was nice, But then what happened was, all those women got older, and then there was laws passed so that you got to have a license to daycare. And now we have this daycare market now, where in the area that I live in, it's like $2,300 a month for childcare. Clown World, right? So then what happens is that you got to have all these strangers around your kids because people have to move for work. People are having smaller families, whereas you go to places like Africa and Southeast Asia and stuff, you have these family units, so the grandma will watch the kids, or the granddad will watch the young kids, or a cousin or something. You know what I'm saying? But now, here in America, we have complete strangers watching your kids. It's crazy.
Guilty, but taking them as true. It's just, it's always, every time I cover these cases, it's hard to imagine that people subject children to this and abuse children like this. But I am curious, given these heinous charges, very serious charges, in your experience, would a plea deal be on the table? And
Please
why do
don't.
I say that? I say that so many times because do you want to expose these children, particularly this 12-year-old, to having to testify about this? The pain, the heartache of going through it. And is that fair? A plea deal? Should she get a plea deal after what she's accused of doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something the prosecutor always has to take into account is you want justice. You want this person to,
But still, guys, this is if it was a man, there would be no plea deal whatsoever, right? But guys, because it's a woman, she actually might get a plea deal,
be in prison as long as possible. But you also don't want to put the 12-year-old through the dramatic process of sitting in front of 12 strangers in front of this scary courtroom and having to explain it all over again and relive the whole events again in their life. So, one of the things that defendants get a mitigation in their sentence or something the judge is supposed to consider is when they take responsibility for their actions. Part of that is in part because you're not making the victim have to relive those terrible things that have happened to them. So usually they'll give some sort of incentive in a plea. Not uncommon to see one that has like a cap of executed time in prison so that the defendant can argue for something less. Yeah. All sides knowing most likely that there's going to be a pretty harsh sentence in a case like this. But it gives something for the defendant to work with, and it saves the victim the trauma of having to relive this. Because you know how these cases work. This girl's hopefully going to get in some counseling and some therapy and be 9 months to a year into that. And then that's when a trial would probably happen. And now you've taken all that good work they've done and undone it if she has to go and relive it in front of 12 strangers.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point.
Sad, guys.
Such a sad case. Horrible, horrible stuff. So, Brad, before we end things, by the way, you looked into this case and there was another charge that Florin was facing?
Yeah, there's another charge that looks like it happened after this one, probably while it was under investigation for theft from a Kroger, where a Kroger store clerk approached her because she was shopping in the Kroger with her dog in the store. The dog defecated somewhere in the store and she didn't clean it up. And so the Kroger store worker confronted her with it, and she refused to address it and just left the store without paying for any of her stuff in her cart.
Wow.
So, a lot going on.
Sounds like a real winner, right? Look at that. Now, guys, let's take a little pit stop, right? At Mr. Babst here. Hey, guys, hold on. Okay. I don't know what it is about this knucklehead. I think it's because you could just see his whole life just go down in flames, like more than anyone else. You get there's other guys that are trying to hold it together, but not good old Walter here. So, guys, we'll take a pit stop at good old Walter Babson. Guys, here in the chat, guys, put your top 4 favorite investigations for TCAP, right? Your top 4. August Lyon says he looks like Ned Flanders. Oh. Let's see.
If you want some for the fridge, go ahead and get it.
Okay.
Now, I believe that this is uncut, so this shouldn't be copyrighted. So it shouldn't take the stream down. If the stream gets cut, guys, I'll make another one and we'll jump back on. But this should be the uncut footage.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good.
There's a seat right over there, please.
I'm under arrest.
Chris Hansen just jumps out the bushes like Jason Voorhees. Oh man, hold on, guys. I gotta do the obligatory. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on.
It's against all the rules. You can't.
Oh, but I can.
Good old Highlander, guys. Anyways, where were we?
No, I want to talk to you. Go ahead, let's see. What's your name?
John,
John what?
I knew it. Go ahead and listen.
You knew what? No, just sit. John, what's your last name?
Hunter,
Hunter. And how old are you, John?
43.
43. And what are you doing here?
Getting my ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it was a setup.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
I need you to just arrest me, take me to jail, and execute
I
me.
need to talk to you first.
Because you know what? I didn't bring anything. I didn't want to do anything.
Please.
Whatever.
Well, why did you come here, though? Help me to understand.
Because I'm a sick son of a. I've never done it before. I talk about it online all the time.
Well, help me to understand. What? I mean, do you have a compulsion?
There it is, guys.
An addiction to...
Do you have a compulsion for the internet? Are you addicted to the internet? All right, August Lyon says Ohio, Riverside, Fort Myers, and Virginia. Okay. I would say, with me, it's a toss-up. Ohio has so many, man. Ohio, I would say my top one. I think it would go Ohio, Flagler Beach, Riverside, and Fort Myers. Yeah. Hold on, guys. You know what? Here. After this, we'll look at the list.
Is the internet?
Yeah. Okay. I've never done anything with anybody except my wife. Ever.
Now, who are you here to see?
I don't even know. And you know what? I'm going to ask you something. Am I under arrest?
You're not right now, no. But I need to ask you some more questions first. Now, you were here... No. I want you to sit down, please.
I need to go. Can I go?
I want to talk to you a little bit more first. Please just sit down. Would you like some water?
No, I'm about to puke.
You were talking to a girl named Beth.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
You know how old?
No.
What did her profile say, John?
Her profile said I'm in trouble.
The profile said she was how old?
She said 12 or 13.
12 or 13. Okay. So you know you were coming here for a 12 or 13-year-old girl?
No, I don't.
If the profile said 12 or 13...
My profile says 39. People, you put it on there, it's kind of a fantasy thing. Okay? I'm totally screwed. I know that. But it's... Forget it.
What are you doing here on a Saturday morning, coming into a house?
Yeah, look, he's looking at Chris.
You seem like law enforcement. I happen to know law enforcement.
And he says, what are you doing here?
Because she was going with it. She was.
Oh, so she wanted it.
That's what it
It's
seemed
her
like
fault.
to me.
Where you believe a 12 or 13-year-old kid is home alone with no parents here. Do you have kids?
Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you watched the first TCAP investigation, the very first one. That was in Bethpage, New York. I did a video on that one, so check that out. But that's an interesting one because they have like no format, no nothing. It was just Chris in the house. It was pretty cool. Let me see. Addie's here. Well, what's going on, my friend?
Well, how would you feel if some guy in his 20s walked into your house trying to hook up with your kids?
I feel pissed.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in education.
You're in education.
Yeah.
A teacher.
Mm-hmm.
What grade do you teach?
High school.
High school.
Ugh.
And you talk about this in your channel. Please, please.
I won't go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to jail.
But I need you just to stay by the bench there, please. What are you wearing at the moment? My boxers and tank top. I sleep in.
Please don't read it. I know what it says.
Because this one thing about Bowling Green, that one's a good one too. The interrogator. So, had a bad night, huh? So I read your chat here. In Florida too. I wish all the interrogators were all female, because you know all these guys have so many issues with women, and for them to be in a completely powerless position, oh man, with a woman having all the power over them, awesome.
And then he said this, John. Is that appropriate in any way? You know, that's against the law right there.
Is it?
Is
You
it?
transmit that to somebody who you think is underage? Yes.
I didn't transmit it though. No, I didn't transmit that to her.
You did not.
He turns it upside down as if, dude, really?
No, that's on. I think it's online. It's under an adult profile.
You didn't transmit this.
Not that I'm. No, honestly, I don't think that I did.
Please just keep your hands on your pocket.
You're a
There's
cook,
nothing
man.
in there. May I ask who
You see
are?
my pic in the chat window? Yeah.
Yeah, but
You think you would like that in you? How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke. Danny, will it hurt? A little, yes, at first. Now, what conclusion am I supposed to draw here, John?
I can't see anything. I'm done. I'm fried.
Well,
Please arrest me.
there's one thing you got to know first. Is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dayline NBC. And we're now, if there's anything else you'd like to say,
So you take you and your Canadian tuxedo out of here, man.
to explain yourself, we'd like to hear it. If not, obviously, you're free to go.
You're cooked. Well, that's good old Walter, man. Look at that. Look at that. Now, guys, hold on. We have another one here. Oh, boy. This is a guidance counselor, guys. Look at this chick right here. Look at this.
This counselor is now accused of sexually abusing and performing lap dances on a 13-year-old boy behind closed doors. As she faces serious criminal charges, how was this alleged abuse discovered, and where could this case go from here? We break that all down with former sex crimes prosecutor Kathleen Bogenschutz. Welcome to Side.
Bogenschutz? Kathleen Bogenschutz. But yeah, this chick is giving a middle school students lap dances.
Bar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I think it was last week when I said, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of educators accused of sexual misconduct. No. And sometimes it seems like, I don't know, it's only getting worse. Because now we have 47-year-old Connecticut guidance counselor Luisa Melchioni accused of giving a lap dance to a 13-year-old student in her office.
47 years old. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Dr. Gold, what's going on, my friend? Guys, what? Because I have a couple of theories on why this is happening. One, I think that this has happened in the past, but with social media now, there's more evidence because there's just texts and Snapchats and all this other stuff. Because we are in the most youth-focused culture of all, ever. Guys, when I was young, I didn't listen to the same music my dad listened to Well, I mean, yeah, Michael Jackson and, and Stevie Wonder, but he didn't listen to the same music I listened to. This is the first time in history where 48-year-olds and 15-year-olds all listen to the same music. You have 48-year-olds listening to Taylor Swift. You have 13-year-olds listening to Taylor Swift. You have 48-year-olds listening to, Drake and Imagine Dragons and stuff. You got 15-year-olds listening to it. You know what I'm saying? So you have 42-year-old women dressing in the same brands as like 18-year-old women are. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So I honestly think that there's this weird, think about when you were in high school. Guys, when I was in high school, the teachers were like 24 to like 30, 35. They were like old. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't dress the same as us. They didn't talk the same as us. They didn't use the same slang. But now you see 24-year-olds and 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these teachers are a lot younger than this woman. But, Dr. Gold says one of my female teachers was flirting with kids in my class, and I'm 20. Look at that, guys. Wow.
Performing other sex acts with him and also sending him naked pictures. Yeah,
What?
She had also worked at the Nathan Hall Middle School in Norwalk. The married mother of 3 has been arrested for second degree.
Isn't it crazy, guys, that they're always married and have kids? And guys, it's so strange because back in the day, people used to get married and just move on down the line. But I think that a lot of these women, they just, I don't know, they get bored with their marriages and want to, I don't even know what, But that's just crazy. Man.
Degree sexual assault and 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor. In my understanding, these are very serious felonies that can carry potentially years in prison. She has resigned from that school district. It's also been reported that her husband has filed for divorce and is now seeking custody of their children.
Good.
And one of them...
Good. Let's give her husband a cheer. Good. He should get full custody of all those kids.
Reportedly is just 2 years younger than the alleged victim.
No, Addie, okay. My point is that, okay, they're around kids anyways, so they can use, I think that a lot of them use being bored as an excuse, right? I'm not saying it's okay. It's not rational. It's not reasonable. What I am saying is, here's this. Okay, let's start here. I think a lot of these 24, 23-year-old teachers that are fresh out of school, out of college, and they're teaching, right? They might have been like goofy and, they're trying to relive their high school fantasy or whatever when they are teaching. So there will be some kid in the high school or in the middle school, and they're like, oh no, I might have been a dork in college, so I'm going to try and be with this young kid, and then think it's okay. And then you have women that have been married for X amount of years, right? And then they're like, oh, my husband's some overweight, boring dude, but here's this young hotshot. Clown world. Absolutely insane. I don't know what, I just can't, this is just me trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense, so.
Victim in this case. So, how did this all come about? How was this brought?
August Line, you are right. Yeah, yep, you got moms hitting on their daughter's boyfriends. Facts.
To the surface? Well, according to the Norwalk Police Department, they opened this investigation in April, and that is when they received a complaint. And reporting indicates that the defendant had given her phone to a friend, a fellow teacher, because apparently his phone wasn't working. And that's when he allegedly found all of these sexually explicit text messages with this boy. So the friend reportedly then tells police. Investigators reportedly speak with the boy, who allegedly confirmed that this guidance counselor had in fact sent him nude photos, and even says she paid for his Uber rides and food for him, even gave him $100 over the Christmas holiday. According to Melchiolini's attorney, She has posted a $500,000 bond. She was released from jail, reporting into...
Guys, she's on bail. Guys, they let this knucklehead out of jail. How? Absolutely insane.
Kate, she's on house arrest. She can't have any unsupervised contact with minors except her 3 younger children.
How?
And for this, I want to bring on right now criminal defense attorney and former sex crimes and child abuse prosecutor, Kathleen Bogenschutz. Kathleen, thank you so much for coming on. Where does this rank? Of course, where does this rank in terms of the cases that you have seen? And by that, I mean, I know it seems like every week I'm talking about another case that may be worse than the next, but this one is, again, another instance of not only alleged abuse, but blatant abuse in the open, right?
Right. And some of the information that we have is that she was even perpetrating on this child while she was in her office. And I can't imagine that guidance counselors' offices have locks on the door, although in the age of school shootings, maybe. But certainly some of these other...
Well, Addie, I don't know how long that you've been rocking with this channel, but you know how I feel about these knuckleheads. Let's just say I believe in one strike and you're out. Okay, let's just say I don't think that we should waste tax dollars on any of these people, if you know what I mean. I can't say what I think should happen to them, obviously, because it's YouTube, right? But guys, anyone that victimizes kids, seriously, that'll take care of the problem, you know?
Other guidance counselors, people with their offices around, should have known or should have been logging the fact that he was spending an inordinate amount of time in her office, one would assume.
Well, and apparently she had closed the blinds, made sure the door was closed, which just makes this even more sinister and creepy, but that might also be why it was hard for people to know what was going on, right?
Clown shoes.
Right. And of course, she made the consummate or the error that most people committing these kinds of offenses make, and that is by using their phone. Because no matter what you delete, it can
I think that's why these women are getting caught more, is because of the phones. You know what I'm saying?
Generally be retrieved, or at least something can be retrieved. And the fact that this other teacher found these things and reported it, kudos to him.
Right.
I'll also note that it appeared, and I'm going to couch it that way, one of the articles I read, that her husband had filed for divorce before this other teacher went through the phone, that the investigation started in April and the husband had filed for divorce in February and the child had switched to a different middle school in February.
Yeah, let me work on the timing.
That's my question.
Well, let me work on the timing. So apparently this allegedly happened over a period of time, this abuse happening on school grounds in her office. And this abuse began in the spring of 2023, ended in February 2024 when the boy transferred schools. And the boy apparently told police that this abuse would, as I said, happen behind closed doors, the blinds would be lowered. Are you surprised, A, that this happened over such a long period of time, and B, it took this long for the school and authorities to find out what was going on?
I'm not surprised. You would be shocked at what people don't know goes on under their own roofs at home. It can be very difficult to meet with the parents of a victim who are beside themselves because they knew nothing. And kids are good at hiding things and perpetrators are good at hiding things. And generally speaking, if you're going to perpetrate on a child, you need a couple of different things to intersect. You need to have the opportunity, meaning you need access to the child. And of course, being a guidance counselor, that was built in for her. And you need the means, you need the ability to keep that child separate from others. You don't generally commit these crimes in front of other people. So it's not super shocking to me that something like that would have been able to keep a secret for that long. I am surprised that, and I would have to see like a floor plan of the school or something like that. I'm surprised that somebody else didn't have some spidey sense about this. This kid is spending too much time in this office. They're closing the windows, the door is closed, the lights are off, weird stuff like that, there wasn't a secretary or somebody like that kind of logged. That's weird.
Hey, everybody, I just want to take a quick second to thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of Sidebar. So Upside is a free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials on the app. That's just to name a few. Now, to find out how much you could earn on unusual, this a lot, but in your profession, in your experience, it's not unusual to have someone who's married with children, has a life, to be engaging or allegedly engaging in this kind of conduct, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, you would think that being a mother or being married would insulate people from this. But
yeah, right.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
And guys, people honestly think that too. They're like, "Oh yeah, she's a wife and a mother. She would never do such a thing." Well, we all see how that's going, guys. Every week, there's at least 2 or 3 cases or more of this going on.
But it tends not to. I would also note that there's quite frequently, at least in my state, and I practice in Florida, there are enhancements. So it's always bad to perpetrate on a 13-year-old if you're 47. But if you're in a position of authority over that child,
guys,
it enhances.
Let's pump the brakes here, guys. Let's pump the brakes. Addie, Dr. Gold, August Lion, everyone in the chat, guys. I want you to go to and look at the crime statistics in Oakland. Go to the news and look at everything that's going on in Oakland. They have a knuckleheaded DA that does not believe in enhancements of any kind. So, for instance, if someone carjacks you, right? If they do it with like a gun, it's an enhancement and the crime is worse. This woman doesn't believe in that because of mass incarceration of minorities. Now, guys, I am black, all right? And guys, criminals need to be punished. Guys, they had a case, and I think I talked about this. This guy was driving recklessly, ran this woman and her sister off the road. The driver, the woman, was 8 months pregnant, lost the baby, and the guy only got convicted of a vandalism charge. Clown world. And that's why Oakland is basically in a state of emergency because of the crime, is
how serious the offense is. And I'm sure that's something that the prosecutor in this case is looking at.
Yeah, no, I think I was just covering a case out in New Jersey last week where there was a crime of sexual assault because of that position of power. And in that state, that's what it's classified as, that relationship. When investigators speak with this victim, this boy, what is that conversation like? How challenging is it to extract that information from someone that young?
So it's always difficult. What I often used to go talk to some of the police officers, especially the ones that were right out of the academy. And I used to tell them that if they thought something had happened with the child, to somehow get a female in there, even if you have male children. And whether it's just the fact that we tend to spend most of our time with our mothers growing up, or that there's something like a little bit less intimidating about telling a female, generally speaking, you will have a forensic interviewer who's a female with a child. I've seen some good male interviewers, but I'm just speaking in generalities. The other thing is that it's so difficult to get boys to disclose these things in comparison to girls. I think that it is extremely underreported when it comes to boys.
Yep,
and
I agree.
When you think about like an older woman perpetrating on a younger,
and because no one cares too. Guys, a lot of times people go, "Oh, why can't men just open up? And why can't men divulge when they?" Because no one cares. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to say it. I mean, no, that's a blanket statement, but in general, people don't care about men's problems and when men are victimized. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? If that includes other men, women, etc. That's just the way. That's just the way it's always been. That's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I've even known guys that have quote unquote opened up to someone, and they were just like, dude. Matter of fact, I had a friend of mine who was having some issues, because one of his parents is sick, and the girl he was with is like, I don't want to hear this. Why are you even saying this to me? It's like, man. I think so more now. I think that it's getting taken seriously more now, but still, I mean, South Park had an episode where Kyle's brother had a relationship, and like, is she hot, bro? Nice. You know what I mean? But people still, even if you look in the comments of a lot of my older videos about this, you would see people, I don't see why this is an issue. Matter of fact, I even spoke to a cop that was like, I don't think that's a bad thing, the thing at all. You know what I mean? Because we can't even have a lot of DV shelters for men. You know what I'm saying? So,
boy, I mean,
hopefully channels like this, where they're constantly showing that this is an issue, are changing stuff around. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a big issue, and guys, to even suggest that boys and girls are equally traumatized by being victimized as children, people look at you like you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Think about how difficult that it'll be for a 12-year-old boy, 13-year-old boy to form relationships with women and stuff as he gets older, when he's been victimized by an older woman. So
it might take him years to figure out. My God,
Ethan, that is true. I agree, guys. Like in the West, we have a lot of abundance. You know what I'm saying? So like, there are guys that can stop and complain, but guys, a lot of guys, especially the 60s, 70s, 80s, they ended up getting married, having kids young, and working jobs that they couldn't stand, working their fingers to the bone to put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have time to stop and complain. And I think it was, who was it that said, I think it was Tony Soprano said, what happened to the strong, silent type like Gary Cooper? Well, if Gary Cooper started talking, he wouldn't shut up. Because he'd have so much to talk about, So, and plus, men process in our own way, But I honestly think that you look at these, like, dating podcasts where these girls go, I want, and it's always some English girl. I always want a man who will open up to me and talk to me about his problems, but he can't cry too much, though. Don't cry about everything. It's like, so you're trying to say that you want him to open up, but he can't open up too much. Or I saw one of those stupid dating podcasts where a girl said it's okay if a guy cries if his mom dies, but he only has X amount of time to cry about his mom dying before it's pathetic. Clown world. Insane.
A major victim in this. My God, she took so many things away from me. And right now it might be something that he doesn't even want to participate in. So it can be very, very difficult with, and I've had a couple.
Nick is English. What's up, man? Oh, man.
Of serious.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Augustine, you are correct, man. Guys, honestly, like, dude, there's only a couple times where it's okay for, like, men to cry in public, right? Like, when the Detroit Lions won that first playoff game in 30-something years, all those men were crying in public. Hey, give it to that. You can have that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of Rocky, at the end of Braveheart, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you can shed a tear. You know what I'm saying? If your favorite team wins the championship, I would say if one of your parents dies, right? I would even give it if your dog dies. If man's best friend dies, you know what? A guy, he gets a pass for that, you know? But in general, guys, you know, you gotta keep it to yourself and your guy friends, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of chicks, they say, "Oh, I could totally handle my boyfriend, fiance, husband crying." Don't guys.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Various cases where it's been an older female perpetrating on a younger male. Very difficult to get them to the point where they would want to testify in court, even with the protections that are often afforded victims of sex crimes in court, where you can close the courtroom, you can, if there's any sort of media there, you can not show their face, you can do all kinds of things to try to protect their identity. But you also don't want to be the guy or the girl as a prosecutor who's forcing a victim to do something.
Or, hey, guys, okay. Do you remember what? Maybe it's not copyright. YouTube. Look at this. Cubs winning World Series reaction. You guys remember this? These are all these. You remember when the Cubs won the World Series for the first time in like 100 and something years? Guys, the last time the Cubs won the World Series, the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarians were still around. It was before World War I, dude. Look at this.
Just been waiting his whole life for this moment. So those tears, he was.
Hold on, let's see.
Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series.
Sorry, guys. A lot of this is copyright footage. There's an interview where there's like a 90-something-year-old guy, and he's like, "Dude, I never thought I'd live to see this." Look at him. He just starts crying. He just starts crying. Okay, that's okay to cry, guys. You know what I'm saying? When you had to wait over 100 years to see your team win, okay, yeah, you can cry. Where was I? Okay, the guidance counselor.
Have on their life, and it's just not fair. It's not fair that they were exposed to this and had to become a victim.
Sorry, guys, I had it on the wrong screen.
Because again, it's an unthinkable situation. You go in for a guidance counselor, 47 years old. That's what the allegation is.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, and I know every case is different. There's different motivations for why someone would engage in this conduct or alleged conduct. What are some of the reasons you've seen that people in this position of authority and educators do this?
So are you asking me what my opinion is, or the stories they have told themselves?
Stories they've told, or
yeah.
Rationale they put forward.
Right. I mean, it's like you could even go back to the Mary Kay Letourneau. We're in love. This is my soulmate. This 13-year-old boy is my soulmate. I've never known love like this, despite being married with.
Oh, here it is, guys. Here are the lions, right? They haven't won a playoff game in 31 years or something. Guys, even the friggin' beverage dude is watching this. Get to the end. Look at them, everyone's crying. Oops. Sorry, guys. Wrong screen again.
First down, son, gonna do it. That throws, it is caught. Amon Ross St. Brown, first down, son, gonna do it. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. Jared Goff delivers against his.
Look at the whole crying.
We did it!
Yep. I think the only time. Oh, here we go.
What you did in the Olympics with a broken.
Okay, guys, if this didn't make you cry, you have no soul, dude.
Neck is nothing short of insane.
Yeah.
How did you do
that? He said, well, I went to another
Kurt Angle won a gold medal
for the next 6 weeks
with a
Doctor's
broken neck after
you won't feel
after his dad died. Matter of fact, guys, gold medal moment. So, guys, let me see if I can.
Kurt Angle.
Dude, man, and that Russian dude that he beat was a savage too. Dude, man, his dad, who had been his coach since he was a little kid, passed away. You know what I mean? And where's the interview? Dude, man, this, if you aren't tearing up at this moment, where's the interview? And then we'll get back to it. But dude, man, if you weren't bawling some tears, man, it was like straight up out of Rocky. Other than my kids being born, this is the greatest day of my life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, if you would see all the build-ups to all these types of moments, man, you know what I mean? So, Kurt Angle, man, good stuff. Anyways, I digress.
With children, it could be that there's a mental health issue that maybe has not been addressed. For example, bipolar disorder, which is overrepresented among all criminal defendants, and even more represented on sex crimes defendants.
Whoa, guys, did you know that? Did you see that she just said that there's a whole lot of offenders that are bipolar? I didn't know that.
That in a manic state, you can be overly, you can seek out inappropriate sexual contact while in that manic state. Of course, it's always against the law to perpetrate on a child and to do things against someone's will. But I have seen that as when somebody gets on medication, they somehow even out and can't believe what they've done, even though they have a memory of it.
By the way, prosecutors have said they've notified the Connecticut Department of Children and Families about these charges, this investigation. In cases like this, is it likely she will lose custody of her children? I mean, what happens, by the way, if the charges are dropped, or what happens if she's acquitted? How does this affect her custody with her husband or ex-husband?
So criminal court, different than family court, different than what might be dependency court. Family court would be
Abby, she's a lawyer that prosecutes sex crime cases. So
where the divorce and child custody proceedings are happening. I would expect that there would be some kind of either a dependency action or some kind of a CPIS investigation into this family as well, just because of the nature of these allegations and the fact that there are these 3 minor children in her home. So those are both civil proceedings with lower standards of proof than beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, which is what you would see in a criminal case. So I would also venture that the state or the prosecutors have looked at the evidence in this case, and they have decided what they could prove if they didn't want to put the victim on the stand. Because some of those texting things, you could have his parents authenticate the cell number. You could use you could do latitude and longitude as to where and when these things were sent. You could try to do things that would not put the kid on the stand or make him testify, but would still achieve what you want to achieve, which is potentially a prison sentence and maybe a designation as a sexual offender or predator.
And let's expand upon that a little bit. First, I'll ask you about the defense here, because these are very, very serious allegations, but they are allegations. And her attorney, Mark Sherman, released the following statement, quote, "Louisa is still very much entitled to the presumption of innocence. These are just accusations. What we do know is that these are charges are being brought against a devoted wife and mother who has dedicated over 20 years to her profession. It's going to take some time to investigate this case." What do you make of that kind of statement? And what are potential defenses for her here?
Well, I don't know if I would have made that statement myself if I were defending her. She is entitled to the presumption of innocence. That part is fine. But who knows? Usually when something like this comes out, other people come out of the woodwork. It's generally not just one, or there may be somebody else she did something inappropriate with, but it's not quite chargeable. And in quite often in sex offense cases, you will see things like, it's called Williams rule in Florida. It's similar fact evidence, particularly when it comes to sex crimes. People have certain predilections indicating that this may not have been the first time. Now, we have no evidence of that here today. I'm just saying that she had so much access to so many children for so many years,
20 years,
that
right?
there are going to be, unfortunately, a lot of parents having some very serious discussions with their sons and daughters.
You talked about how this could shake up. Would you see a plea deal in this case? And obviously, there would be an advantage to having a plea deal, so you don't have to take this to trial, so you don't have to expose this victim. Whenever this trial happens, they'd still be trying to recount what happened to them as a young child, having to take the stand. But at the same time, if you're putting a plea deal on the table, I would imagine she would be pleading guilty not to the maximum here. So what would a deal look like here?
So I don't know what the maximums are on these charges. If she were charged in Florida, she'd be charged with first-degree felonies, just based on her position of authority in the crimes committed. So in my state, she'd be looking at 30 years as a maximum sentence. I would expect that there would be some kind of either jail or prison time. It depends on what mitigating factors are presented. Like I said, I've seen some very good mitigation with bipolar disorder, not to the extent that you would completely forgive the offense, but that I've seen plenty of hearings for mitigation regarding people who are acting out sexually. And once they get on the correct medication for them, they are absolutely horrified at what they've done. So it would really depend on that factor as well. I could see a prison or jail sentence with sex offender probation afterward requiring a psychosexual evaluation, all recommended follow-up, a lengthy term of probation where she's not alone with any minors. They did make the exception for her younger children. But that being said, I mean, she could be on probation for 15 years when she has grandchildren even.
Right.
So it really, I'm very sorry for her family as well for this and for her own children.
There's suffering in this as well. That can't be ignored. That can't be understated. And I do want to close this out by asking about the school and the school district's responsibility here, because Norwalk Public Schools, they released a statement saying the safety of our students is our first concern, and how she's no longer employed by Norwalk Public Schools, and that Norwalk Public Schools is cooperating with the police and department's investigation. They also said they have no further comment. And according to News 12 Connecticut, she was fired 6 weeks after the school district was first told about this investigation. And I have to ask, if that's true, is that too long? Do they face any liability here in terms of hiring her, keeping her employed? Because again, it's a fair question to ask when you think about what the allegations are here.
Yeah, it is absolutely a fair question. I do note that they didn't say she was still at the school during those 6 weeks. She could have been suspended with pay, without pay, while they did an internal investigation and tried to satisfy whatever collective bargaining agreement she had in the teachers union so that they weren't illegally firing her without any kind of explanation. That's what I would expect the 6 weeks were. But if they had left her in a classroom, the liability blinds me.
Yeah, that is, that's crazy to think about. And we'll see. Just a really, I don't even know. It seems like every time I cover these cases, it's shocking me, but it's also not shocking me what's happening across this country, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on. Debate about whether it's getting worse or it's just being amplified and more reported, but whatever it is, it's really, really sick stuff. Kathleen Bogenschutz.
I think it's a combination.
You think it's a combination of what's going on?
Yeah, it's reported more often, easier to catch, and better evidence with cell phones.
That's fair. Cell phones. My gosh, so much of it is captured on there.
That's true.
Whether it's the communications or, worse.
Pictures and all that. Now, guys, we're going to look at another teacher here, and then we'll shut this bad boy down. I'm going to drop a video on Sunday, just letting you know. You guys remember Steve Benoff? Look at this guy.
I was so excited. Just sit in the kitchen counter for a minute.
Where are you? Oh, okay.
I need to get to my new shirt.
What is he wearing? Look at that.
Shorts on.
Okay, what's up? Good, son. Yeah. What are you doing here? Well, you said he was 23. What's the problem?
I have the transcript. That's what the problem is. Brandon said he was 13.
You're cooked.
13?
13. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
13. You can talk about oral sex, anal sex, and all the different things that you'd like to do with him.
Yes, he said...
It's just talking. I don't see the internet and real life are two different things.
He's from the Fairfax, Virginia state.
What are you doing here?
I thought I would come see him, but...
Come see him for what?
I wanted to meet him.
What is a 54-year-old man doing coming to this home to see a 13-year-old boy?
Yeah, Steve.
Obviously made a big mistake.
You know, there's...
Please don't put this in TV. Don't put this in TV.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Look at that, guys. He said...
You didn't say anything about, I want that ass.
You'd like to...
Oh, there's another angle. Hold on. Let's go here. Where are we? This website takes so long to load. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on, guys. It'll load here in a second. I think they have another angle. Good old Steve here. There it is.
Just sit in the kitchen counter for a minute.
Where are you? Oh, okay.
I need to get my new shorts on.
Okay.
Did you bring everything?
I told you I couldn't find a store.
No, other than that.
Some of this is copyright footage. I hope this doesn't get the stream taken down, guys, because There's that MSNBC right there. Ah, oh well. That'll probably get this taken down. But guys, let's look at the list of predators here. Hold on. And I'm gonna look at all right, let's see, guys. So Fairfax was okay. You know, you had Aladdin on there. He was hilarious. You had Dog Boy Wonderler. You had Kennelly, and you had David K. It's crazy because there's not a lot of dudes, but you know, Aladdin is memorable. Wonderler, Benoff, David K, and Kennelly, like they're all just like unforgettable, you know. And then where are we at next? Well, there's all these unaired guys, but Riverside, man, look at that. We have Babs, Scott Smith, Chris Moore, Daniel Polito, Sebastian Rodriguez, Chris Urban, Inderjeet, Maurice Ruiz, Chuck Harding, Roberto Forte, Robert Lyons, JPW, Thomas Bodnar. Look at that, guys. Oh, look at that. Brialt's on here. Andre Jackson. I think Riverside has to be probably my favorite. All the guys I remember the most. Spencer Cho is on here. Yeah, look at that. And then, let's see. And Greenville, Ohio. All right, guys. Okay. All right. Alonzo Hampton Wade. Nathan Downhauer. Let me make this bigger, guys. Hold on. Oops. What did it do? Devu Ozcan, Timothy Isaac, John France. Wait a minute. I think I said no, guys. Ohio's my favorite. I have to say. Yeah. Ohio's good. Westerbeck's on here. Rutherford's on here. Josh Tuttle. Jeff Stacy. Yeah. I have to say. This one's the best one. I think I've probably watched all these guys the most. Kenneth Brinkman. and the detectives are just like, you're supposed to be the adult! Oh, man. All right, and then we have Fort Myers. Michael Willis, David Schumacher, Thomas Moffat, the library card guy, right? David Schumacher, of course. And then Michael Willis, I was heading to the beach. Pepe, Eric Thornton. R.I.P. to Eric Thornton, dude. Yeah, he just passed away, man. Do you see that? Donald Morrison. I would go Ohio and then Fort Myers, I would say. Yeah. And then Georgia. Dennis Colson, Matthew Cogburn, Chris Cannon, yeah, Cody Green. Oh, these are all so good, man. Guys, how many times have you watched these? Oh, man. How much of my life have I spent watching TCAP videos? Petaluma's good too, man. You know? Yeah. Matter of fact, here. Let's do this. Here we go. Let's see here.
Friday after.
Look at this.
Watch Forrest Gump 3 times in a row.
God, him on TikTok, that's scary.
I've watched Forrest Gump 3 times in a row, and I know every single word from the very beginning.
God, he's still creepy.
All the way to the very end.
This is the I know guy.
This is 27.
Uh-oh, that's copyright. Can't do it, guys. Sorry. So remember, this is him. Okay, so this is how he perished, guys.
A Pahokee man died Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon would have been July 19th. Friday afternoon, after his car veered into oncoming traffic on a 2-lane road west of Belle Glade and hit another vehicle, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Eric Thornton, 45, was driving his 2005 Scion XB southbound on State Road 715 around noon on Friday when his car veered into the northbound lane and hit a 2019 Ford F-150 truck traveling in the opposite direction, according to a sheriff's office crash report. Investigators do not yet know why Thornton's car veered into oncoming traffic. The report said the 27-year-old driver of the F-150 was unable to avoid colliding with the Scion. Thornton was pronounced dead on the scene. There are no charges related to the crash.
That's it for him, guys. In memoriam.
And I will help out any animal that needs assistance.
Oh, that's him, dude. Yeah, Eric Thornton's a goner, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's probably drunk, so yeah. Addie's correct, so. But all right, you guys. I'm going to shut this bad boy down, guys. I'll be back. I'll be dropping a video on Sunday, guys. And then there is a video that I wanted to go over. Oh, guys, I'm going to talk about... Have you guys heard about the Mr. Beast thing? This person here. Man, oh man, oh man, guys. So Mr. Beast is like the largest YouTuber on earth, and someone in his circle was talking to little kids. Oh no, I'll be dropping a video on Sunday. Yeah, you know what? I might go live to talk about this. Guys, join the Discord, guys. I'll let you know, because I'm still trying to figure out this whole...
Did you cover all...
situation with this person. But guys, there's this person here, and then there's also this Dr. Disrespect. I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy. Right? Dr. Disrespect, he is a YouTuber with 4.62 million subs, and he got caught talking to an underage girl. So he's married, he has kids, all this money and influence. He's just an idiot. The guy's a moron. So yeah, guys, maybe yes, 72. You are correct. I'm kind of gathering more information on this to see where this one goes.
Did you cover all the Mr. Beast stuff? I feel
Mr. Beast stuff, because guys, this is crazy. So, and now guys, it's out there. Like, this person was doing this. So, so I don't know why people are still defending this person. I don't, because there's no reason ever that anyone should be being inappropriate with children. Look at that, guys. So, but all right, you guys. I appreciate you guys joining the Discord. That's in my about. And yeah, guys, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy.